Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you a little bit more about my newsletter, and the topic of today's video will be how I got my first 100 subscribers and kind of how I came to develop the layout of each newsletter that I would send out. In the previous video, I talked about my idea behind my newsletter called The Simple American, how I picked the platform I used, and kind of just how I got started in the idea behind my newsletter. Today, obviously, once I started using Beehive, started writing my newsletter, obviously the biggest thing is you got to grow it. So what I did was to acquire my first 100 subscribers, I just did a few things. And it really wasn't that difficult. The first 100 wasn't that hard. First thing was I just sent it out to my close friends and family. I text out the link. They just click on it, type in their email, subscribe. They're good to go. So that was 20 or 30 subscribers. I then posted it to my Instagram story, and through there I probably got 20, 30, 40 subscribers from there too. I probably have about, I don't have a huge Instagram account. I'm not like a big poster on Instagram, but I probably had about 900 or so people following me. So I probably got 20 or 30 subscribers there. And then I played hockey growing up. So I had a bunch of group chats from a couple previous hockey teams I had when I was playing in college. I sent them in there, got some more guys to subscribe through there. And then lastly was just, my mom and my grandma were really big supporters, and they sent it out to a lot of their friends just through word of mouth that it got spread that way. And so that was kind of like how I got started for my first 100 subscribers. Super simple, reaching out to people posting on your social media, and just word of mouth, having family and friends try to pass it on that way. So nothing too crazy there, but that's kind of how I got my start to get to my first 100. And if I was to do it again, I'd do the exact same thing. But then looking forward, how I started my newsletter was, in my previous video, I kind of talked about the idea behind it, right? It was a 1-minute summary news brief on the biggest stories that happened in the day to catch people up quickly and in as unbiased way as possible, right? So originally what I would do is I opened up the tab in Beehive. You see the little tab that says start writing. And I would literally just say, good evening, what happened today? And I just bullet the things that would go down the list. And that was kind of the very beginning. But then as, I sent out a couple, I was like, okay, I want to make it more professional looking. I wanted to add some things to make it look better, look like a real newsletter business, like more people were doing it. So what I did was I went on Canva and I made a header, and I'll show it to you here in the video. Just a blue header that said The Simple American, that was at the top of each newsletter that got sent out, just a reminder of who was sending it out, like a little bit of a logo, a cool look to start the whole newsletter. I kept the same good evening, what happened today, and then started doing my bullets. At the end too, one thing that I did want to add as well is at the end of it, I would do like a quote of the day. I add a quote of the day for every newsletter I send out, and good evening or have a great night, and that's kind of like to signal the end of the newsletter. That was kind of like how I really got started. The first week to 2 weeks that I was sending out the newsletter, I was doing kind of that layout and would tweak it a little bit as I was going along with, maybe sometimes how long my bullet points were, how detailed they were, then adding in things like the header and the quote of the day. And, as I was going, I would get compliments from people, my first readers of the newsletter, that they really enjoy the quotes, or they really enjoyed like how brief it was with the bullets. And so like I would kind of take some early feedback that I got from my first 100 subscribers, and I would build off that. So that's kind of this episode, how I got my first 100 subscribers, kind of how I tweaked the early days of the original newsletter to make it look better, look more professional. In the next episode, I will be talking a little bit more about adjustments I made and how I continued to grow from there. But yeah, that was for today. At the time of recording this, I'm sitting at about 1,300 subscribers. So I've grown a little bit since the last video as well. and continue to move forward from here. Thank you for watching. I'm going to put a link to my newsletter in the description. Please subscribe there. I'd greatly appreciate it. And like and subscribe this video. And thank you guys all, and we'll see you next time.